Allow me to introduce myself.
I am the last sane sports fan.
I am a genius by trade.
I just knew too much. Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Possibly.
Hello everyone and welcome once again to The View from the Midwest. Got a couple topics that we want to get to today, so let's get right to it. First of all, the voting has begun. Well, it's been in full swing for quite a while for the baseball all-star game, and right now Royals fans are making kind of a joke out of it. I applaud them for their efforts. For a mid-market team, a small market team, whatever you want to consider the Kansas City Royals, for their fans to really get out, really force the vote, really get things organized to where right now, if the voting ended today, 7 of the 9 starters would be Kansas City Royals. But also, if you look at it, I mean, come on, Royals fans. I understand you love your team. You want to get recognition. You want the mainstream media to know that you're there. You want some respect that the national media might not necessarily give you. But do you really want to see 7 Royals or more in the All-Star game? I mean, I love the St. Louis Blues, but I don't want to see the entire St. Louis Blues team play the Eastern Conference All-Stars, if that was how they were going to do the All-Star setup. Again, I love my team. I love the players on the team, but I don't necessarily think that they're all the best in the league. They're definitely not all the best in the league at their positions. In terms of what you can do about this, I don't really know. I think fans need to be a little bit more responsible. Maybe you need to lessen the votes that you can get per email address, because right now I believe you can have like 35 votes per email address. Well, there's some normal people have 2 to 3 email addresses generally, so that's 70 emails right there, or 70 votes right there if you just have 2 emails. Well, then all of a sudden you get these people who are really trying to screw with the vote, and they ended up having 5, 10, 15 emails just because they're creating some to do this. Let's treat it with a little bit more respect. I mean, seriously, do you honestly think that there are 7 Royals that are better than the rest of the American League? Let's treat it with a bit more respect. I have no doubts that this is going to continue. That many Kansas City Royals are probably going to be in the All-Star game, whether they're starters or not. That's up to the league. I don't think you should take away the fan vote, but I think they need to figure out ways to kind of counteract this. This is really kind of a joke. I'm all for the Kansas City Royals. Even though I'm a St. Louis Cardinals fan, I rooted for them in the World Series. As long as they're not playing the Cardinals, I'm all for the Royals doing as best as they can. I lived out in Kansas City I lived in Kansas for a decent number of years, 4 years while I was in college, and I interned with the Royals. So I have no problem with them being successful and having good players and players in the All-Star game. But there's no way that they have 7 that deserve to start. Again, the Royals fans, I understand where they're coming from, but let's treat it with a little bit more respect. One other topic I want to get to today is, it kind of got brought up yesterday after the Stanley Cup final game, or it was during the final game, excuse me. Chicago won. Congratulations to them. They're showing their mettle. They're testing their resolve. The series is tied up 2-2 going back to Tampa. Tampa basically did what they needed to do. They needed to at least steal one game. If you go up 3-1 in the series, great for them, but they wanted to at least get home ice advantage back. Home ice doesn't necessarily mean as much in hockey as it does in other sports, like in the NBA or Major League Baseball and whatnot. But the question that was raised, and it was brought up by Darren Pang, and he was having a Twitter conversation with John Butchergrass as well, was about rebound control with goaltenders. And quite frankly, I'm sick of this. this topic. I'm sick of goalkeepers and goaltenders being picked on by people who have never played the position. Now, as one who wants to get into the media and one who feels that I'm fairly good at analyzing games and analyzing things, I try not to be one of those people that it's like, oh, well, you have to have played to understand what's going on. You have to be a former athlete to be an analyst. I don't think that that's necessarily true, but when it comes to goalkeeping, you have people who have never played the position, don't know the kind of stuff that goes on with that particular position, because that is a position, whether it's in soccer or whether it's in hockey or lacrosse or whatever, that it does take a special kind of person to be in that position. I'm tired of the analysts who have never played the position sitting there telling me what a goalkeeper should and should not have gotten to and how they should have handled the ball or how they should have controlled the puck. Again, I try not to fall into that camp where it's like, oh, if you haven't been there, then you don't know what you're talking about. I mean, these are people generally that have played the position or played the sport at a high rank. I mean, some of the analysts for NBC or ESPN or the various networks that cover soccer, these are people that have played the sport at a high level. I'm taking nothing away from them, but they haven't played the position. Goalkeeper and goaltender is something almost completely different. It's not like a defender telling a forward, oh, well, you should have done this or you should have done that, or a forward saying, well, a defender should have done better in that situation. The rebound control is something that is just ridiculous. Yes, there are goalkeepers who are goaltenders in hockey who probably spray the puck out too much, allow too many juicy rebounds in good scoring positions. When it comes to that, rebound control is something that they could work on. But just the fact of allowing a rebound and calling that rebound control as though you're supposed to be some marshmallow that just sucks up all the pucks around you is ridiculous. And the same thing goes for goalkeepers. All the time I see on ESPN FC and when they had Fox Soccer, oh, well, the goalkeeper should have had that. Oh, they made a courtesy dive. Oh, you got to have that. You got to make a save there. You have not played the position. You don't know the kind of positioning that goes into where you should be on the field or on the ice. You don't necessarily know what they should have gotten and what they shouldn't have and what it takes to smother rebounds, especially when it comes to soccer, but it's in hockey as well. It is an incredibly difficult task, one made even harder by the talent level that these people are going against. And I'm sick and tired of this particular position being picked on by people who have never even attempted to play that position, and they sit there and fall back, oh, well, I'm not a goalie. Why would I want to play that position? I don't know how to play it. Well, exactly. You don't know what goes into it. You don't know that they should or should not have gotten to it. You sit there the same as the person on the couch that sits there and says, well, they should have had that. Well, quite frankly, 9 times out of 10, they shouldn't have. 9 times out of 10, the defense could have done something to prevent that to happening. That didn't happen either, but we don't see the heap of disdain lumped on them as much as we do goalkeepers either. That's the view from the Midwest. What are your views on the topics that I covered today? Comment, rate, and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook, leave a comment there as well, and share it around. We'll keep these on rolling for you. But until the next time, I'll see you then.